Disclaimer, doll customization is not for children. I am using toxic chemicals as well as sharpener tools. Hello my loves, I am Susika. Welcome to another episode. In today's episode I am going to create a princess doll. This is today's candidate, a Monster High doll named Draculaura. Let's start. I have bought this doll second hand and she came with a hairband still attached to her head. I cut it off her head and keep it for later. She is in good condition and she came with her shoes still on. Next, I am going to cut the doll's hair as close to the scalp as possible. Her hair is not in good condition and I plan to reroot this doll. This is the doll with her hair cut off. I bring water to a boil, then soak the doll's head in the hot water for at least 10 minutes. Now it is easier for me to remove the head from the neck pack. With an old screwdriver, I scrape the inside of her doll's head, loosen the glue and the hair roots. With needle nose pliers, I remove what is inside the doll's head. Next, I soak a cotton pad in pure acetone, then remove the printed on face. Wear gloves to do this. I prepare the doll's body with 2 layers of Mr. Super Clear UV cut flat sealant spray. Now I add pastels to her body. I add pastels to her joints and her fingers to make the skin look more alive. Do not forget the back of the doll. When I'm done with the pastels, I seal it all in with a layer of sealant spray. Now I start working on the doll's outfit. I plan to give this doll a pink and white princess dress. I will use this tool trim to create an underskirt for the doll's outfit. I wrap the tool trim around the doll's body a couple of times. Then I close the underskirt with a drop of glue. I use all-purpose glue to work on my dolls. The underskirt is done. Now I am going to make a skirt for this doll. I will be using this lace trim for that. I have a very poofy doll skirt in mind with a lot of lace and ruffles. Again, I keep the trim in place with a drop of glue. Then I cut the tool trim and close the doll skirt with a drop of glue. Next I am adding lace around the doll's waist. I have chosen a lace trim with a ribbon. And the skirt is done. For the top of the doll's outfit, I am going to use this lace, which is adorned with beads. I think this looks very pretty in combination with the ruffle skirt. Now I am going to make sleeves for the doll's outfit. For that I will be using the lace trim. I used earlier for her waist. I make sure not to smudge the doll's body with glue. Now I am adding accessories. These gold pieces are actually hair beads, and I think they have the right size for a doll's necklace and bracelets. Be careful when you reattach the hands. The bracelets are made of metal. And the outfit is all done. Now I start to reroot the doll's head. For that I will be using synthetic doll's hair in golden blonde and light pink. Her hair will be mostly blonde with a few streaks of light pink. I like to combine different colors for the doll's hair. I am using a rerooting tool for this, which is a needle cut at an angle in a handle. Be careful not to poke your fingers. Rerooting a doll's head can take multiple hours, but I find the process rewarding and the end result is always worth it. For the hairline, I alternate pink and blonde doll hair. This is how the doll's head looks after I have finished the rerooting process. Now I have to secure the hair roots inside the head. For that I will be using thick glue. I spread it inside the doll's head with a brush and make sure to cover all the hair roots. I then let the glue fully dry. This can take up to 2 days. Once the glue has fully dried, I carefully brush the doll's hair. Then I pour boiling hot water over the doll's hair to straighten it. I then let it air dry. The combination of pink and blonde doll hair looks very pretty, and I think it suits this princess theme of this doll. Now I will be starting to work on the doll's face. For that I have prepared the face with 2 layers of Mr. Super Clear UV Cut Sealant spray, and now I add soft pastels in pink to her cheeks and forehead. Here I add soft pastels to her lips and to her nose. I take a clean soft brush to spread the pastels evenly. With a kneaded eraser, I remove excess pastel powder. After a layer of sealant spray, I add some more pastels to her cheeks. It can take multiple layers of sealant spray and pigment to build up opacity. Again I add soft pastels to her lips. After a layer of sealant spray, I color the base of the doll's eyes with a white watercolor pencil. With a light brown watercolor pencil, I frame her eyes. Always start with a lighter color, then add darker pigment later. Here I add red watercolor pencil pigment to her lips and some more pastels. After a layer of sealant spray, I draw the eyebrows and the eyelid creases. I add some more pigment to her lash line. Her eyes will be light green and yellow. I color the lower part of the iris yellow and the upper part in a darker green. With a red watercolor pencil I draw the waterline. Here I am drawing the pupils in black. I add some more red watercolor pencil pigment to her lips. After a layer of sealant spray, I add some more white color to her sclera and some more yellow to the lower part of her iris. My watercolor pencils are from Faber Castell. They have a lot of pigment. I recommend investing in a good brand of watercolor pencils and pastels for your doll face-ups. Here I add some more pastels. I am also working on the doll's eyeshadow with yellow soft pastels and pink soft pastels. Whenever you want to save your progress, add a layer of sealant spray. I always let each layer of sealant spray dry for at least 15 minutes. If you want to apply the sealant spray, you have to wear a proper mask. A paper mask is not enough for this, you need a respirator mask. I always use my black watercolor pencil last. I use it to darken the lashes and the pupils. Black watercolor pencil pigment is difficult to remove from the face-up, so I recommend to sketch the lines in a lighter color and then use black last. Here I am adding catch lights to the doll's eyes with white gouaches and a dotting tool. Gouaches are good for face-ups for dolls because you can easily remove them with water. I also paint white lashes with a nail art brush and white gouaches. Here I add brown eyelashes. I first draw the upper lashes and then the lower lashes. Use a sharp watercolor pencil for this. I add some white highlights to her lips and her nose, and I work some more on the lash line. After a layer of sealant, I add shimmer powder to the doll's skin, and after 2 more layers of super clear sealant spray, the face is done. I then heat the neck hole with a blow dryer and reattach the head to the body, and this doll is all done. I added a little crown and a ribbon to her head, and her name is Princess Rosalia. I think this doll turned out very cute and pretty. I like her nude lips and her pink and white color scheme. As you can see, this doll has many ruffles and lace, and I think she looks very regal. How do you like this doll? Tell me in the comments below. If you want to support me, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel or follow me on social media. This doll and many more are up for sale. Stay safe and be creative.